I was brought here for a reason, or that I chose to come here for a reason. And that, now I get to hold space for others. So basically, having gone through my own experiences of childhood sexual and physical abuse, which led to the drug and alcohol abuse and violence, suicidal ideation, it's given me this really beautiful understanding of the light and dark sides of this world. And so now I help people to realize that they don't have to stay in the darkness, that there is a path out of that jungle. And when you can see somebody who has been on that path that resonates with you, then you can find your path, right? So like you and I both have very different paths as far as our upraising and how we help people. And I think that's why coaches and support people are so important right now, as opposed to like clinical physicians, because what people really need is someone who's been down the path, someone who's shoveled the shit, someone who put out the fires, so that we're not just saying like, yeah, I read this in a book and 10 other books, and so now I know what you're feeling because I've learned it. It's like the difference between empathy and sympathy, right? Like I can say, I know exactly what it feels like to have had abandonment and abuse and degradation and the theft of my innocence. I may not know exactly what that's like for a Black woman, right? But I've been through it enough that I can use my other education that I've gained as a living being to coalesce those 2 points and say, okay, knowing what I know and knowing what I know about you, I can hold the space for you to find the truth for yourself. And so if I was like to say what I do, I help people eliminate the lies that they've been told over their life, right? Those trauma-informed beliefs. And I help them release that so they can move into the potential of their future by accessing the truth of the universe, which is unconditional love and prosperity and abundance.
I love that key word that you just said, informed trauma response.
Trauma-informed beliefs, yeah.
Yeah, trauma-informed beliefs, that's what you said. Because I think it's so important to help people recognize that they don't need to feel bad about the things, like with shame or judgment about the things that happen to them, or that there's some sort of blockage or thing that's holding them back. It's just literally your natural response because of trauma. And you can rewire that.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't have enough time to go into the full aspects of it, but I think most of your listeners know, right? Like our physical body is a result of our spiritual body. And so we actually have mass in our energy body, right? Like I'm an energetic health practitioner. So whereas someone else might go through affirmations and mindset and thought forms, I really feel into the energy forms of that. And so when we have a traumatic experience, it has a charge. That charge continues to build in our body, and it affects the way we think and feel about ourselves and others and our reality. And unless you are able to process that and move through it to get to the other side, then you can get stuck in these loops and you can feel like there's something blocking you. And what I've seen in the love and light community is everybody's like, no harsh vibes, bro. Like I'm going to only, I'm just going to think happy thoughts. Right. And it's like, well, that's great if you're all mental, but if you're an individual who feels their emotions and the energetics, you need to neutralize that pain, that fear, that anger, that resentment, that like if you don't take that out, it's like trying to heal a wound while the bullet's still in. So I love when my clients come to me and they're like, I know I should feel better about this, but it's still bothering me. It's like, well, then let's get into it. Let's neutralize it. Let's take the charge off of that. Let's get angry. Let's get mad. Let's really tell your mom what you wish you could have told her before she died, without regret, without judgment about how we're feeling about this, or if I'm an unenlightened being because I'm feeling anger for a minute, right? Like we didn't come here to be all love and light. We came here to have the dichotomy, the duality of this existence, hot and cold, pleasure and pain. And if you're bypassing all of the pain, you're not processing it properly, you're not giving it due attention, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass.
More inspired content, holistic products, technologies, and tools follow at Real RAW Momma on Instagram and TikTok. Tune into the Real RAW Momma podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms and visit embracewhoyouare.earth. And I want you to remember, you're the chosen one. We all are.